much
talk to my
counter
dad
space
either.
with that.
You don't
toaster,
talk to your dad?
Nah, we're trash.
Wait, why?
Money.
He got a rich stepdad. What he
He brought the wrong coffee maker home one time. Guy never spoke to him again.
He tried to bring
French press family.
Dude, he tried to cure me. I said, "Yo, buddy, I'll talk to you never."
You're not
Why don't
my
you
son
talk to your
anymore.
dad?
Money,
What do you mean? Like he owes
business.
you money? Or?
No, family business, shit, beef.
Can you
rolled
talk
over.
about it or no?
You heard him finagling about the death tax. Who knows what's going on over there?
We got a couple of things working, all right, Schultz? You trying to fucking pin me down?
For all I know, he could have died in a yacht explosion 12 years ago. He sees his dad, he calls him Larry. Who knows what fucking... You gotta keep an eye on these guys. Just nod your head like Michael Caine at the end of Batman.
I'm so funny. I'm so used to talking to him who can't follow anything or ask follow-up questions. And Schultz finally starting to pin me down.
Yeah.
No, I'm so curious. So what happened?
There was a family business with my dad, my brother, and myself, and then
What type of business?
mechanical contracting.
Okay.
I knew it was construction of some kind.
Yeah. You know, I left to go do comedy. It was my brother and my dad, and things soured drastically over.
Were you like the referee between them usually?
I was like the final round of like, hey, this is, you know, whatever. I was made the final call, and then he was just, my dad was like, yeah, whatever. I was like, all right, see ya.
So then him and your brother just couldn't.
They
work it
haven't
out.
talked at all.
And you side with your bro on this one.
Yeah, I got to. I mean, you know,
Right.
the way I look at it was like, if he could, you know, if he could screw him over, like, I'm him.
Wow. So wait, your dad screwed your bro over potentially. Potentially, we don't know.
In a fictional world that we're living in on this podcast, sure.
Yeah. And then you.
This is on Patreon, right? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, we want it. Shout out. It's patreon.com/areyouGarbage.
So then you side with your bro. Obviously, that makes perfect sense. And your dad's relationship with your brother sours.
That soured first.
Right.
And then I was like, hey, I was already outside of, I was outside looking in, like, hey guys, whatever, let's try to, and it was in, not salvageable.
I think it's
Irreconcilable differences, we should say.
But here, and I think it's hard for
Reconcilable differences is funny.
the ones that you can
Yeah.
reconcile. Yeah. But no, but it's tricky. Like I
you
think
want it though.
with parents, right, where it's like we can't fathom that we're not the most important thing to them. And it's like really hard for a lot of people to accept when we're not. And I think that usually breaks a relationship because we go, well, if I'm not the most important thing to you, then you don't love me.
Sure.
Because that's like
it's all or nothing kind of.
It's all or nothing,
Yeah.
right? But like I don't know, like I've spoken to folks, I'll keep their names private obviously, but and they basically told me that I would rather have some relationship with my dad than zero relationship with my dad. But
very mature.
This is so mature, like getting there to that point, and I was like baffled. Like, how can you even accept that you're not the most important thing to your dad?
To me, it's like
They're not garbage. When you're garbage, it's like
we're trapped. Like a thing for me is like if you argue with a family member, like my girl will argue with her parents or like whatever brother, like just whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, to me, a reality. Because my family's all so fucked up and everybody, it's like there is a possibility that you're never going to speak to that person again. Like
every time you argue.
Yeah, I can be like this.
They don't push it as far as we do.
So I go I'm like, there's been times I'm like arguing with my brother or my sister or my mom or fucking, aunt or I'm like, this could end in like to the point where like Christmas is going to be weird for 5 years or whatever.
I think you and I have talked about, Kimmy and I weirdly related on a lot of stuff even before.
Yeah.
Both, we didn't know there was a such thing as healthy fighting.
No.
That blew my fucking mind that you just fight and it's fine. Like,
you say something to try to hurt them
I'm just learning to understand that. Yeah. I'm just learning to understand that a fight, in my mind, this is always everything is on the line.
Yes.
Every fight.
Yeah.
You left the fucking food out. Okay, here we go. Here's a fucking 12 rounds.
Something's going to be said that's not going to be able to be taken back.
That's a fucking
and
eye-opening
that's where the
thing.
garbage comes in.
Yeah.
Like it's possible for just to be like, that person is completely wiped out of my life forever.
That's
and my wife's like, that's insane. I'm like, well, that's reality.
And that happens a lot.
I mean, like, there's,
like an aunt or something.
Well, I mean,
that.
like my dad. I haven't talked to my dad, and like I haven't had a relationship with my dad in 7 years.
And I think that's why we work so well together. Because normally, like I said, like if I'm arguing, I go to say the worst thing ever.
Right.
But with him, I know that there's a little bit of a governor on it. You know what I mean? Like he can keep me in check because Like, if this guy fucking doesn't talk to his dad, he's not gonna have any problem.
Yeah, I'd say it to him. I say, bro, I got no problem icing you, dude. I'm like, I've iced, I'm like, dude, I could delete your number and close the door to the studio.
Each other at a convenience store.
I saw him in a Wawa parking lot a couple of months ago.
That's
no
garbage.
way.
Yeah,
That's garbage.
fucking iced him.
Your dad? Can you
Fucking
imagine?
ice in the veins, Daddy-o, right by him.
Not even
Really?
walking
Kid's
by
ice
him.
cold.
Touch shoulders as you guys.
No, he was like coming out of the car, and I was walking. Like I was parked over here, he was here, and I came out of the store this way. So like,
Did he see you?
oh yeah.
And was there any acknowledgement? I mean, it probably broke his heart, man.
Didn't stop and say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's a fucking proud guy, and men
So
are
am I.
fucking
You know,
pathetic with it like
two
that.
fucking Irish fucking potato
That's all
heads.
it
You know,
is, man. So
Yeah.
you guys are gonna just figure it out in heaven?
He ain't. I don't know if either one of us. Maybe hell. I don't know if we're both making it to heaven.
Yo, can I just say, I saw my dad in a Wawa parking lot. Garbage. That sentence.
How about this?
Garbage.
I ignored my dad in a Wawa parking lot.
That's
Even
pure
more.
garbage. That's a different level.
Yeah.
He had a full loaf of bread. That's real
Your
trash.
parents are separated, but does she try to kind of like reignite that relationship with your pops? Or,
My mom?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Between you and your pops, does she recognize, or she's like, no, you made the right decision?
Yeah. No. She was out on him in the fucking 80s.
Immediately.
She was like, yeah, this. You know.
Interesting. Okay,
They
so
were
maybe
Back to the
that's
Future, and she was like, I'm done. I'm out. It's over.
Yeah.
We're talking real psychos.
yeah. That's the crazy thing, man. It's like, and I don't know anything about your family, but it's so weird that like when people have kids, I don't know if you like feel this way, but like when I see someone who has a kid, I immediately respect them more because I'm like, oh, you have real
Responsibility. Yeah.
Like,
There's a life in your hands.
yo, dude, and that's the thing about these Zoom calls. Like, even when we were working on the special, right?
Mm-hmm.
We would have these Zoom calls, and there'd be people like busting their ass on this fucking show, and then you'd hear their kids in the background. And after that, like, I'll be honest, if somebody's like fucking up a little bit, I can be hard on people, right? Because I have really high expectations. I give the most praise. I'd say they're the most amazing people in the world. But if I feel like you're being lazy or you're just not putting the effort in, like I'll lay in. I'll fucking lay in, and it can get crazy. It can get a little crazy. But when I hear they have kids and shit like that, immediately I'm like, hey, man, you guys shit to do. If there's people who have no fucking kids crying in the background and they're not getting their job done, then obviously you're just fucking up. But there's something about that where like, oh, you're like a fully formed adult. And then you realize as we become adults and start seeing our parents as actual human beings, we're like, oh, anybody could have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah.
It's
There's barrier to entry is minimal.
Zero. You
yeah.
need a license to get like be a barber.
Yeah.
But to,
You know what I
do
mean?
to do it right is very difficult.
Incredibly difficult.
I look back on my parents and I'm like, I don't know how my dad didn't walk the fuck out.
From your mom.
Just in the situation.
What was the situation?
Me and I'm saying,
Couple of 870 sitting on the couch. I would have fucking hit the bricks, Daddy.
the English muffins again.
No,
just
penny stocks.
any general family where you have, a mom and a dad who are, a working class family who are working.
Lower,
then you
lower.
exactly. Then you have two kids, pre. Then you have two kids, that might be close in age together, like two brothers that are fucking, type A kind of guys, that are playing sports, fighting with each other.
Yeah,
All that shit, anything like that. It's like, I don't know how they fucking do it.